Hey collective, welcome back to the channel. So, during my last reading, I had mentioned that I wanted to do a two-part reading. That reading was called Never Give Up, I believe. And if you took an opportunity to listen to it, it was in regards to young mothers. And I was reading from mothers or women who becomes pregnant around the age of 16 as teens or whatever, and what life could potentially look like in your third quarter. And what I mean by that is that I look at years of life in quarters, because you have 25 and under is your first quarter. To me, 50 and under is your second quarter. Then I look at like 75 and under as your third quarter. So, if we looked at the Bible, just in general, people used to live way beyond the age of 70. Like they would be 100 and some odd years of age. My grandmother today is 101, and she's still living. She still lives in her own home. She still lives alone. And is she elderly? Yeah, but she's capable. She's still moving around. She doesn't necessarily drive herself places anymore. She gets help with that, like if she has to go to the doctor and stuff. But I always feel like that there's an opportunity for a fourth quarter. It all depends on how you live the quarters before. So if we go back to that last reading, and it's titled Never Give Up, I want to use the second part of the reading as advice, right? As advice based off of where you are today in life. You've had your child. You may be currently in your first quarter still, maybe in your second quarter, or maybe in your third quarter. But either way, we want to look at this as advice for those individuals who had their children at a young age, who are still wondering what future outcome may be, the possibility of what tomorrow may look like. So this will be a 3-card spread based off your current past, your present, and your future. This is a timeless reading. I will be reading the cards in upright and or reverse, however they come out. So let's pull our first 3 cards and see how it goes. We need present, because current past has already come out and showed itself. Woo. Interesting. That was quick. Splitting the deck, we have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the Tower. The 4 of Pentacles can be a reminder of how we're, let's think about it. We're saving, right? We're holding on to what is ours. Like we're really focusing on saving money and security, where we are in the future. And then the Tower is about sudden change. The change does not necessarily have to be chaotic, anything like that. It could be a revelation, an awakening, right? So I think both of these can definitely be positive cards. It looks like you're in a place right now where you're actually financially secure, or you're seeing where your money, you're seeing where you have an opportunity to change, to save your coins a little bit, right? So maybe you took a chance of moving around, like changing something dramatically in your life because you came to some type of revelation that something had to change, right? Remember yesterday when we was talking about never giving up, I had mentioned that when you go through situations like that, like I did, being a teenage mom, I had to reevaluate a lot of things. I had to separate myself from people. I had to figure out what I was going to do next. And I had to come to some type of revelation. So the Tower in this regard is very pertinent, right? Because you have had to make some type of decision if you were going to make a better life for you and your seed moving forward. And apparently you've gotten to the point where you can see some type of stability, some type of coins, right? Something positive in your life. The Tower remaining at the bottom of the deck, that revelation continues to be your shadow card. And we're going to stick with it. The first card that came out was the King of Wands. Again, you were a visionary when you gave birth to your child, right? You made a decision that you were going to try to create and make the best life possible for them. This is your current past. You knew that you had to figure out something. You had to put some things in order. You had to be calculated with your decisions, what decisions you made, how you made those decisions. You had to overcome some challenges, and you had to really become a child to a mature young adult overnight, right? Because you had a child. So we're looking at these cards with no gender, right? But you had to overcome some things in your past, right? And it looks like you made the right decision. Your present is the Hierophant. It's a major arcana. It's upright. You had to learn to forgive people. You had to make a decision on if you were going to conform to society and the rules of society. You had to seek wisdom, clarity over your life, and you had to trust, right? You have to trust that things are going to work out in your favor. This is present. So you're sitting here, you're trying to figure that you may be looking at your spiritual intuition, your guidance, your trusting in your gut, your feelings in order to make things right for you, whether it's continuing to let people, to keep people out of your life, or who you choose to bring off into your life. You have to be wise about it. As you can see, there's two individuals at the bottom of the card seeking guidance, right? When I first saw the Hierophant, I never focused on the two individuals. I just saw the power of the priest or priestess, and the energy that was coming from the card. unexpected results that could come out of manifesting things for yourself, seeking that wisdom, that guidance, that the truth of life in order for you to progress successfully. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we go off into the future. And in the future is your Queen of Wands. So your current past, there was King of Wands. No gender. Could have been male or female. Could have been you, which it was you because we're speaking of you. And in the future, your mate is coming. This person is also courageous. This person is also has confidence. This person is also independent. This person is focused, has a zest for life. This person is determined, right? This person has a lot to offer to your life. And this tells me that regardless of what you may have been through, whether you were a single mom and raised your child by yourself, whether you're single now and still raising your children, whatever the phase you are in today between quarter 1 and quarter 3, you're going to have someone in your life that accepts you and what comes with you in the future, right? They're going to accept your children. They're going to accept your child. They're going to accept you. They're going to accept the pain that you may have harvested because of what you had been through. They're going to add to you. They're going to be your equal, right? Because keep in mind, the wand is all about activity, all about actions, right? So this person is going to show you more action than words, and that's always important. This person is not going to be an individual who's dwelling in their head about, oh, I'm not sure if I want to deal with this individual or not. They're truly going to be positive about you, right? So it's interesting, I would truly focus on where you are in your present today, right? Because you're obviously making the right and the best decisions for you. Continue to do that, right? Continue to do that. And if you're single, make sure whoever you choose to be in your life, because it's a choice of yours. We have to always remember that these relationships are our choices, no one else's. So make sure that person meets your requirements. Make sure that person is down with your program. And you should have a strict program because you want to see the actions of a person. And you want to make sure that their words and their actions are matching. Any discrepancy there, honey, you don't want them in your life. You don't want them around your child. You want that individual to be consistent, 10 toes down on what they're offering you and the package deal that you have with you, right? So I want to take this time and I want to clarify your present, to add more meat and meaning to your present. I don't necessarily think there's much to clarify there, but I want to seek more understanding, more value for you, right? So we're not gonna add much more to it, but we want to see what the wisdom is behind the Hierophant and what knowledge they're trying to bring to you. So we ask that our spiritual ancestors take over this reading and provide us with words that can help us find clarity as we continue on this journey, as we continue through this matrix. We ask the Great Divine to rebuke any negative energy only in the way that He can. And we ask our angels to provide us with more wisdom and clarity. So let's see what words they have for us. Oh. Thank you. What words do you have for? A lot to say. We're going to stop there. So the card on the bottom of the deck is your Seven of Cups. And as a reminder, the cups is about your emotions. There's obviously a lot going on in your emotions, a lot that you're trying, a lot of decisions that you're trying to make, a lot of options and opportunities there. But again, remember, you're seeking guidance. You're trusting your intuition. You're going inwards, even though you may be seeking outward. You need to go inward. You need to seek that forgiveness for yourself. You need to seek that wisdom for yourself so you can make these decisions as you move into your future. Please remember that. Please continue to keep that in mind. So we're going to share the cards in the way that they came out. Obviously, our spiritual guides had a lot to say. A lot to say. So the first card that came out is your Knights of Swords. Something coming towards you in your mind. I mean, a lot of thoughts are going through your mind. A lot, significant amount of thoughts that are going through your mind, and they're rushing in, which makes sense because of your shadow card. It makes perfectly good sense that a lot of thoughts are rushing through your mind in the present because you're still trying to seek that clarity. You're still trying to seek that understanding. One thing that I can tell you is that as we forgive others, we also have to figure out a way how to forgive ourselves. That was one of the hardest things for me to do, was to try to, I always thought for a while that what could have I done better? And I was so hard on myself. I felt like that it was necessary for me to prove things to people all my life, right? And eventually I had to sit down and I had to truly forgive who I was as a person, which took strength. It took strength and courage for me to look into myself. And that's called shadow work, right? You have to look into yourself to say, I know where I'm broken at. I know the things that I must fix or I have to fix. I know where I want to go in life, right? It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of courage to be able to look into your own mirror, to look at your own reflection and accept the person that's standing in it. And in order to do this, you have to forgive yourself. Love yourself more than you can love anyone else. But in order to do that, you have to forgive yourself first. The next card is that your heart was broke, right? And your heart may not necessarily have been broke because of a relationship. Sometimes you can break your own heart, right? You're still looking over, you're still trying to gain clarity. And sometimes you can make yourself suffer as you think through the past, because this walk, when you're a single mom or when you have a child at a very young age, the walk is not easy, right? You have to make some sacrifices that you didn't think you was ever going to have to make. And sometimes you can break your own heart because you think about it as if, why did I do this? So or how did I get here, or whatever. Not saying that you regret your children, not saying that you regret your child, but life is 10 times harder when you have to take care or be responsible for someone else other than just yourself. So your heartbreak can be that of yours, but you still have to remember to forgive yourself. You have the Five of Cups, right? You're still in your emotions. Sometimes you may feel like, oh, I just need some time to myself. I just want to walk away. But guess what? You never truly leave. 3 cups may be down, but you got 2 still standing. You have the zeal to work through these concerns. You have the power to work through these efforts in order to meet, in order to get where you're planning to get to in life, your utopia. Right? You have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is action, movement. You're looking at where you can go, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you moved away from anything, but the Three of Wands is telling us that you're looking toward the future. You're looking toward what tomorrow would be, what tomorrow can bring. I can't make it up. You have the Page of Wands. He's manifesting. He's looking at the growth of the leaves on top of the wands. Is he still in his emotions? Absolutely. But he's looking at that growth. He's looking at that power, what could become. The Lovers. Your equal is coming. Right? Your equal is coming. There's someone who's going to come off into your life that is going to complement you and yours, that is going to have your back, understand your situation, and y'all are going to be so balanced, so together. Take yourself out of bondage. This is the Eight of Swords. Take yourself out of bondage. This goes back to the strength. The swords is saying that you're in your head. But take yourself out of bondage, honey. Because it's going to work out for you. Trust in yourself. Seek the wisdom. Remember the Hierophant. That's what we're clarifying. That's what we're getting more words for. Take yourself out of bondage. Forgive yourself. The Hangman upside down. You have to, in order to get to these lovers, you can't stay in bondage, otherwise you're going to remain stagnant. You can't do that to yourself because you got so much coming. So much coming. And it ends with your Ace of Cups. I hope you can see all of this. Let me move the cards up a little bit. It ends with your Ace of Cups. It's a beautiful outcome. And this is all based off your present. So you're going to get it together, honey. You're going to get it together. It's all going to work out. Raising children, there's no manual to it. And there's definitely no manual to it when it comes to raising them alone. Having a child early. There's definitely no manual to that. You just got to put in a good fight. As I mentioned yesterday, you got to run a good race, honey. And be powerful while you're doing it, because if this reading, woo, couldn't come out any better. If this reading couldn't come out any better. The angels, speaking of love. I give my heart and ready to receive the heart of another. The angels are supporting your relationship and want to remind you of the importance of giving love and support to your partner. Spend time with your loved ones and balance your affection in a healthy way. I'm going to sit this next to your future. Because this is very important to see, in my opinion. Can I get them both to stand up there? I just feel like this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? It may not necessarily be all that we maybe I should say the outcomes are going to be more than you could have ever imagined. Things beyond your wildest dreams. Right? Let's see what Moonology has to say. The moon cards are becoming to be some of my favorite cards. Moonology is. We're going in a retrograde right now. The 29th of June to, I want to say, the 23rd or the 25th of July. And if you were looking at the sky last night, the moon was so clear. The sky almost looked blue at night. And it was absolutely beautiful. So let's see, as a closing, what does Moonology have to tell us? What words do they want to give us as we trust in our journey? As we focus on our present? And what kind words do they have to give as we move off into our future? One card. That's all we need. It's one card. Let's see. These cards are so hard to shuffle like this. Just one. If it don't come out, I'm going to have to try it again. There we go. Two came out. Two came out. So we're going to start with the one at the bottom. And it says, hold your vision. It's the fixed moon. Hold your vision. Hold your vision. Meaning what's ever in your wisdom, what's ever in your gut, what's ever in your thought. Remember yesterday we was talking about manifestation of your future. You need to hold on to that so you can get here. And the last one is expect powerful change. And the reading can't get any better than that. So, as we conclude this two-part series, I would like to encourage you that no matter what guidance you seek as you continue on this journey, always remember that the power resides within you. Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your own understanding. Shut out the noise around you sometimes. And sometimes just sit in peace, and clarity will come. So again, I bid you the best. Namaste.